recorded live at 4ZZZ Studios Brisbane on 102.1 FM.
And broadcast across Australia on the Community Radio Network.
You're listening to Zed Games.
With 10 years experience and over 500 episodes,
Zed Games brings you the best in gaming news, reviews, community and culture.
Want to reach out? Message us on Facebook at ZED Games AU.
Hello, 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 hello.
Hello.
Welcome to the rodeo that is Zed Games.
I feel so welcomed.
Yeehaw.
I'm glad. I want everyone to feel welcomed here in this beautiful space. How are we all doing tonight? That
You know, I
goes
was
so good.
who's here at the moment?
That's true. I was keeping it a mystery, but
I
that's
don't know.
not the
I don't know
right
who you
vibe.
two are. I don't know who you two are.
Who are you?
I am Zara. I'm projecting my voice into the station from a faraway land of my house.
What? How are you doing that?
There's this thing called technology and
Never heard
the
of it.
internet.
You mean that
And
I could have not have taken the bus?
well, you see,
I would have been
No.
lonely.
Oh, true.
yes, I was worried that. Wait, you two haven't introduced yourselves.
Oh, hello. I'm Caroline.
And I'm Maylee.
Yeah, all right, yeah. So Maylee would have been lonely and
Yes.
scared because the station gets a bit spooky.
Oh yeah, because it is haunted.
Yes, it is haunted.
I didn't know this. Now I'm extra scared.
Well,
Alright.
it's fine because Caroline's there.
Yes, yes. So, on to less scary topics. How have we all been doing? Playing any games lately?
Oh, you know what? Yeah, I've actually played a couple of video games. You might have heard about one of them recently. You've probably also heard about whatever Caroline's been playing recently.
I have.
What have you been playing recently?
Sonic.
Frontiers
You?
or otherwise?
Otherwise, you know this.
I don't know this. Tell me the Sonic sauce.
I finished Sonic Frontiers, so obviously
But did you 100%? Did you S rank all the levels?
no, because I love myself.
I hate myself, so I have S ranked all the levels.
Yes, and it was terrifying.
The energy was.
Yeah, no, I moved on from Sonic Frontiers. I haven't moved on emotionally, but now I'm playing another game, which you might hear about another time. Not tonight, but another time. How about you, Millie?
Yeah. Have you been playing fun games, wholesome games, games
No.
that don't make you want to cry?
No, I haven't.
Oh.
Oh,
I've played.
Well-
I've played a game from my childhood. I picked up with
Ooh.
my friends recently, which is Unturned. Don't know if you heard about it.
I have not.
So
What is that?
it is a zombie survival game.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
hence Unturned.
Yes.
I was thinking unturned as in wood. You haven't turned the wood?
Well,
when
that's a
did we
different
turn
game.
wood? What?
On a lathe, you can turn wood. It spins real fast and you carve it. Listen.
Okay, you two, this isn't a woodworking show.
right,
This
we
is
need to
actually
get
a
back
video
on
game
track.
show.
Yeah, sorry.
Well, I'm gonna.
There is a woodworking simulator, though.
There is,
Well,
but you're
if we
going to have to
review
play
it,
and review it.
Then we can woodwork discuss. But for now, I'm gonna put on some news to
Nice.
get us into the groove.
swag.
So, here we go.
Ring-a-ding-ding, it's time for Zed Games news. The Not Last of Us. In news that will come as a shock to absolutely nobody on Earth, reliable rumour sources indicate that The Last of Us Part 3 is under early development. Naughty Dog are currently working on Factions, a standalone, massively open-world multiplayer shooter based on the world of The Last of Us. For those of us who are fans of Naughty Dog's Uncharted series, word is that the IP is being handled by a different developer. There's no news on the potential release date of The Last of Us Part 3, or indeed the release date of its inevitable re-release on PlayStation 6. Microsoft's Call of Lawyers. The long-awaited acquisition of Activision Blizzard by Microsoft is facing more legal wrangles, with antitrust lawsuits from the US government standing in the way. Central to the issue is Call of Duty, Activision's annual war-loving military shooter. The concern is that if Microsoft were to make Call of Duty exclusive to the Xbox platform, it would seriously damage Sony's position in the market. Xbox boss Phil Spencer has pledged that Call of Duty will remain available on Sony's platforms for at least 10 years, and even come out on Nintendo platforms. He didn't say Switch specifically, just Nintendo platforms, so we're just going to assume that the next Call of Duty is coming out for the original Game Boy. Dwarf Fortress finally comes to Steam. Massively popular indie hit Dwarf Fortress has finally made the move to Steam on PC. What makes this story special is that the original version of the roguelike fortress building game has been in active development for 20 years and has been a free download for all this time. But what do you get on Steam that you couldn't previously? How about modern innovations like mouse controls, tutorials, and even graphics? Already the game has been a huge hit on the sales charts, with many long-time players buying the game just to say thanks to the developers for working on the game for so long. Now that's commitment. Game Awards gave some games Game Awards awards. The Games Awards, the industry's favourite 3-hour festival of new ads for upcoming games, was held last week in Los Angeles. Some of the big winners include Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope for Best Strategy Game, Stray for Best Independent Game, and Elden Ring picking up a slew of awards, including Game of the Year. Congratulations to former Zed Games host Alana Pierce for her writing in God of War Ragnarok getting the Best Narrative Award, which just goes to show there's hope for all of us. Upcoming game releases. On December 15, you've got Resident Evil 7 on the Switch, The Crack Pet Show on Switch and PC, and River City Girls 2 on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch and PC. On December 17 is Terrestrial on the Commodore 64. And on December 20, Turnip Boy commits tax evasion on PlayStation 4. And that's it for this week's gaming news.
You just got newsed.
Oh, everyone's so informed now.
I'm at least 5% more informed than I was before.
How do you two feel about turnips? Are we pro turnips here?
Bland.
Eating them?
Like, just in general, because there's a lot you can do with turnips. People don't know this. But you know those like Halloween pumpkins with the jack-o'-lanterns and stuff?
Yeah, isn't it Ireland where they carve turnips?
Scotland, actually.
Okay.
Ireland might also do it, but yeah, no. Horrible little turnip jack-o'-lanterns were the go, and I think that's probably correct for turnips.
It sounds spookier than a pumpkin.
It looks bad. Don't, Maylee, I know you're easily spooked, so don't look it up.
No, don't.
But
I've seen them before there.
But I don't think Turnip Boy commits tax evasion is like scary.
Yes, I just looked up turnip jack-o'-lantern, and I should have heeded your warning. Yeah. That's unpleasant.
Yeah, it's not good to look at.
It's like a little mummified head.
Yeah.
Scrungly.
But I support it. It's spookier than a jack-o'-lantern.
It is a lot spookier than a jack-o'-lantern. But I think we're going on about turnips.
Yes, we've gotten very fixated on this one
Yes,
part.
I apologise. I was going on about wood turning earlier, and now I'm going on about turnips. But
were you the one going on about wood turning? Or was that me?
No, you were going on about... Oh, look, okay. Back to the news. There's been like a lot of stuff that's been announced. Like
Hades 2.
It's Hades 2, for example. We got quite a lot of trailers, and it's a beautiful, beautiful trailer.
There's also Castlevania coming to Dead Cells.
Yes. Do you want to explain that a little further? Or do you just want to cross that bridge when you get to it?
Oh, you know what? I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. But also, it's Castlevania and it's in Dead Cells, and there's some new levels and weapons and possibly characters.
One more.
Oh, hell yeah!
You can fight.
That's awesome. And The Witcher 3 got that that RTX release, which is I've seen some of the comparison screenshots. I thought already it was a very detailed game.
Yeah, it's a very pretty game.
And they managed to just put more details in it. So there we go. Games design.
I know,
Constantly evolving.
It's cool. I'm impressed, but I don't know if I support it. That effort could have just made new games.
You know what?
Yeah,
You're
stop
right.
beating a dead horse.
Mm-hmm.
Make another game.
What about Witcher 4?
I feel maybe a little jaded, but
What about
Make a new IP.
The Witcher 4 Geralt's Roach Adventure, and it's just a
Horse breeding game?
It's just a horse care simulator where you look after roach.
like those My Little Pony games from 2 decades ago.
Like Barbie.
Yeah,
horse
so you could like,
games.
so you could like, you can brush roach, you can like braid his mane, make sure that, you know, like, come on,
That sounds nice and peaceful.
feed carrots, maybe even turnips to roach. Just, yeah, I think that's what the next game should be.
Sure, why not?
Yeah, why not?
So you're listening to Zed Games, is that it?
You're listening to Zed Games.
You're listening to Zed Games.
Hello, you're listening to Zed Games.
You're listening to Zed Games.
You're listening to Zed Games.
You're listening to Zed Games. You're listening to Zed Games.
You're listening to Zed Games.
You're listening to Zed Games.
You're listening to Zed Games.
Perfect. Thank you. Welcome back to Zed Games. I'm Maylee, and I'm here in the studio with my 2 good pals.
Oh no! Am I being summoned?
You're being summoned to talk about
Pokemon Scarlet and Violet! It's a game, it's the latest Pokemon game. I believe it came out last month, was it? I can't remember the exact date, but it is a mess. It's
not very nice.
Listen, I am a Pokemon fan. I've gotten every single Pokemon game ever since Pokemon Diamond and Pearl back in the day. I have emotions and feelings and stuff. I'm allowed to say bad things about Pokemon because I love it.
It came out 3 weeks and 6 days ago on November 18th.
Oh my goodness, time. Anyway, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. It's a Pokemon game, you know? There's little critters, you catch them in your balls, and then you use them to fight. And there's friendship and stuff. But the game has already been patched twice, and it's still a horrific mess. Yeah, I've experienced glitches, bugs, the game crashes.
Is it as bad as people say it is? Because I've seen a lot online of people saying there's all these glitches. So it's not an exaggeration?
I have never had a Pokemon game crash on me before.
I've never seen that either.
And it happens constantly. Sometimes I'll just go into a building, it'll crash. I'll go into a town and there'll be too many people, it'll chug for like half a minute, then crash.
I have a bit of a hot take, which I'm not gonna... We can get into in the end, but seems like a...
Yeah. Basically, there's Pokemon Violet, 2 different legendaries, 2 different professors, but you don't really see the professors that much. I was lured into buying it because Pokemon Mummy, but she barely turns up, so I'm disappointed. The gimmick of the thing is you can terrorize your Pokemon. That it means it goes glittery and shiny and gets a hat and then becomes a different type.
So kind of like the how in like past Pokemon games there's been like the Mega Evolution, there was
Gigantamax, whatever, and the We Miss You So Much Mega Evolution. Please come back to me. I missed that.
Charizard was so cool.
Yeah, they caught lightning in the bottom. Lightning in a bottle with the Mega Evolution, and I think they've been failing to get the feel of that ever since.
Gigantamax was not it. I haven't played this one, but it doesn't seem like the terror.
Terrorizing your
doesn't
Pokemon?
seem like that's it either.
Yeah, and it's an open world game, so basically nothing feels unique or memorable. It's just empty space and the Pokemon don't level with you, so it's possible to wander into an area, get your butt kicked, whatever, but more than likely you'll be over-leveled, and then starting areas or half of the map will be just an annoyance.
Right.
Do you want to just sort of run us real quick through, like, what the gameplay loop is like?
Okay, first, for maybe the first hour of the game, it is a bunch of cutscenes that you are stuck into as you are introduced to the concept of Pokemon, despite the fact that it's a franchise that has been here for 20 years, 25 years, I believe the last anniversary was. Explaining everything again, you can't skip it. You get your starter Pokemon. You are then introduced to... There's a school in this Pokemon world, and you're enrolled in it.
Well, that's a bit nicer than children just wandering through the wilds.
Oh, then...
Well, I wanted to be a child. I was wandering through the wilds. I didn't want to go to school. Where's my escapism?
You go to school, do a bunch of cutscenes, and then you're released on the world, and...
Oh, okay.
It's not actually explained really well that you can come back to the school and do classes.
Oh.
Where you sit through a bunch of text boxes. Sometimes it tells you really interesting stuff, because Pokemon, there's the deep lore about just effort values, IVs. They don't really go quite into that, but they do explain like type matchups and how the damage scales with the type matchups. But then you have to do exams, and the questions are pretty
this
much
sounds
unrelated.
thrilling.
It sucks.
Oh
I
my
went
God.
to go battle the Elite Four, and they had me do an interview. They're like, "Why are you here?" I'm like, "You know what? I'm just here to have fun." And they said, leave.
So it's a school simulator?
Yeah, they give you options, like voice.
You choose your
Take
answer.
a deep breath. Take a deep breath.
Sorry, I am very... Yes. For example, you are about to fight your rival, this big... It's been building up the whole game to fight her, and you are given 3 options where to have it at. Where you met, behind her house, some restaurant, or in the yard in the school. I go, oh, cool, let's do it where we first met. They're like, oh, that's cool, but no, that's just my house. Choose something else. I'm like, okay, wouldn't it be funny if we battled in this restaurant? They're like, no. Then there's one option left. Oh, I guess I choose this one. Yeah, that's the correct one.
Right.
If you're going to not have a choice...
Don't even pretend.
Do not pretend.
It doesn't bother me most of the time if a game doesn't give you choices, because most games don't, but if it pretends, it's so infuriating.
Yeah.
It's like, how dare you insult me
Yes.
by, like, tricking me like this? Like, this isn't even a trick. It's not a good trick.
No.
I'm not having fun.
And you're supposed to remember things about the game. For example, going back to the interview that you have to do before you can face the Elite Four, they're like, oh, which gym gave you the hardest time? None of them. They were easy. I was over-leveled, so I choose a random one. I'm like, maybe. They're like, what was the name of the trainer that you faced there? I don't know. I don't pay attention because none of these characters mean anything. They're there for like half a minute and they're gone. I had to look it up.
Well, Caroline, obviously the answer is a Jigglypuff seen from above.
No, I wish. I wish a Jigglypuff seen from above. One of the questions in one of the exams was, hey, what's the teacher's name? I had to look that up as well, even though, you know.
What are you meant to do? Presuming they're designing this for kids, because, you know, despite a lot of people playing Pokemon aren't kids, that's their target.
I think it's supposed to have an impact on you, but none of this does because it's just another
it's nonsense
book in the series of games. The
What
same
is-
stuff, different
It's
skin.
so frustrating because, like, imagine the types of games that you could do in the Pokemon world would be imagine like a proper choices matters story-driven game in Pokemon. That would be phenomenal.
That would be cool, but it's just different wrapping around the same core thing with a few things switched out, but it doesn't matter because there'll be something different next game. And
can I give you my take now?
Sure.
Your hot take?
Go ahead.
If it is as bad as what I've seen people say it is, and you're agreeing that it is,
yes,
this seems more egregious, and I believe people should be more upset than they were with Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah, honestly, yes.
But they're not, because everyone loves
it's
Pokemon.
Nintendo, those little guys, but
I don't think this is really a review anymore. I think this is kind of like a
vent.
But do you know what the worst thing is?
What?
I still play it.
Yeah.
I will still continue to play it. I'm getting into the IVs, the EVs, the Pokemon raids, even though when I try and connect, it's like maybe 25% chance that I can actually connect, and then it's weird.
And I haven't bought it, but I know I'm going to when it's patched and I can get it secondhand and I get the money, and I'm going to play through and have so much fun.
Yes.
And I hate myself for that.
I feel that the way that it's been set up with the raids and whatnot, and the school teaching you some more slightly deeper than surface level Pokemon information, is that they wanted to try and encourage children to get more, not just children, but new people into the competitive scene. That's what it feels like, but
maybe,
obviously they've not done a great job at it.
Was bugged as well, so
yeah.
And a lot of people don't care about the competitive.
Yeah, I just want to do shiny hunts, but also the shinies are very hard to spot because the new gen shinies, very, very small difference between them and the originals, and in the overworld they don't have the nice little shine that Pokemon Arceus had, which is really annoying.
What? Okay, I have a little challenge for you. It might not be a challenge.
Go a week without playing it?
No, yes, actually, but that's more of a I care about you as a person
Thank you.
thing. Because what were some things that you did enjoy?
Say something nice about it.
Oh, okay. You can bathe your Pokemon.
There has to be something.
When you're having a Pokemon picnic.
Is it like a Nintendogs sort of?
Yeah, there's a little. You have a little Mareep sponge, and you can bathe your Pokemon.
I love that.
And then hose them off. Let me check my notes. Do I have anything that's
all it
good?
takes to win me over.
The fact that the rating. Now that I watched a bunch of videos by some YouTube man, and I have a grasp on the raid, sort of a good raid build, I can beat it solo, and therefore that's kind of fun, maybe, because that gives me the material I will need to make some shiny hunting sandwiches, and I do like shiny Pokemon.
There's a food system in this game, right?
Yes, you make sandwiches, and the sandwiches give you sandwich powers, which
you sound unenthused, but that sounds great to me.
It's just another mechanic to keep track of. That I will just sort of look stuff up on how to do it because it doesn't explain to you how it works.
Yeah.
It's just, here's these recipes, you can make your own, but it doesn't really tell you what affects what, and so it's either trial or error or look up a guide, which has been, I have had more enjoyment once I've looked up a guide and gone, okay, I can imitate exactly this, because there's like the optimal way to do it, and there's no point in going off and doing your own thing because it's non-optimal, you'll lose or waste ingredients. It's so hard to get the ingredients for the shiny sandwiches. You get a 10% chance of a drop in a 5-star raid, and those are really hard to beat because those are level 75 Pokemon.
Yeah,
which they don't tell you. You have to, either mess around and find out, or look up a guide.
Can you recommend this? I feel like we could be here for the rest of our show and the next show.
Really could. Sorry, I didn't realize how
No,
much
that's
I
okay.
talk.
I like the passion. But do you recommend it that's final thoughts, I guess.
Not for new people. If you want Pokemon and you can go in eyes open, knowing that this is not a good game, and you want to, I don't know, shiny hunt or just do more Pokemon stuff. But
I
with a
might be
different
wrong,
label.
but I'm thinking that there'll be a lot more people selling these games rather than keeping them. So maybe
Probably,
do what I
yeah.
do, pick it up secondhand.
Get it secondhand.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm in an abusive relationship with Pokemon, so I love it and hate it, but love it. And yeah, why am I like this?
It's okay.
Can you just do me a real quick favor for everyone at home?
Hi.
Can you tell people what you ended up playing instead of Pokemon?
Oh, I went and played Sonic Frontiers, and now I'm into Sonic. I got really frustrated.
No, we can't. We don't have enough time to do Sonic now.
I played Sonic, I beat it, then I went back to Pokemon. And then I had a break from Pokemon and 100%ed the Sonic levels. I S-ranked all of them. And now I'm back to Pokemon. This is who I am. I am deeply autistic, and this is just what I'm like.
We are coming towards the end of the hour, which means we're going to have to leave, which makes me very sad.
Bye. But not
Well,
yet.
you can't stop me. I'm in the walls, and I will keep talking. And
No,
I will
you're in
keep
the
talking.
computer. I have a big red button that
You're
says
in
hang
the
up.
machine.
No, don't hang me up.
Press the button.
Maylee, no, I'm gonna tell people about Sonic Frontiers.
Oh,
what if they
don't push me. I'm going to hang up.
Maylee, what have you? Is there anything coming up that you're excited about?
So it's not a game per se, but I'm very excited about the Steam Christmas time sale where I can spend a lot of money on games that I will not
Never
play.
Yeah.
Because I have a problem.
Yeah, I also have the same problem. There's
Most of my games haven't been played in my Steam library, but I'm gonna play these ones. I need to buy these ones.
Exactly.
For folks at home, to maximize your Steam reach, share libraries with your friends.
Yeah.
Thousands of
it is
games all of a
very
sudden.
useful. I definitely recommend that.
Yeah, because we got to be thrifty during holiday season.
Things are
Times
so
are tough.
expensive.
And we want people to make sure that they can keep playing video games.
Always play video games. Just replay the video games that you've played 50 million times already. Your comfort games.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No.
I'll play Minecraft a million times.
Yeah.
I'll play Sonic a billion times.
I have over 1,000 hours in Terraria. I'll play that again.
Hell yeah.
What is your comfort game, Maylee?
It really it does vary. I go through 2 seasons of them. Oh no, I feel put on the spot.
Well, that's all right.
I'm very fond of Don't Starve Together.
Oh yeah, that's a great
game from my youth.
Nice.
Very good one.
Perfect for playing with a pal.
Yeah.
So is Terraria, but
Yeah.
no one will play with me.
Yes, because of reasons.
I'm not the reason.
No,
I just want to clarify.
The reason is sometimes people aren't fun to play with.
Yeah.
And that's also okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I feel like we've had a lot of wisdom tonight.
We
So much
have.
wisdom.
Does anyone have any last parting words of wisdom as we say adieu?
Larry is best boy.
What material is Mario's overalls made out of?
Denim.
Denim.
Thank you, Caroline.
It's denim.
It is, but you got to say it like da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah. Well, no. I'm sleepy.
No?
Yeah, I'm sleepy too.
okay.
I raged too much during my review and now I have a headache.
Do we want to say like goodbye and good night so you two can go to bed?
Yes.
Goodbye, farewell.
Nah, I'm
I
gonna
need
go
to
home and play
say
video games.
goodbye.
Nice. All right.
Have a good night, everyone.
Good night.
See
And
you
please don't play the
next week.
Pokemon game, except maybe do play.
One day. If you wanna do it, but probably don't.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to Zed Games.
If you'd like to listen to more, check out our podcast on Spotify.
Or follow us on social media at ZED Games AU.
See you next time.